need to be somewhere else. To start, you need to go backwards. The easiest way to slow down is to stop. You're out there, but I'm in here, right between your ears, at the center of it all, inside the hungriest organ. Come join me. Listen carefully. Take a deep breath. Squeeze. Hold. And release. A blink is a comma in your thoughts. You can't control it, it just happens. Same again. Inhale, squeeze. Feel it. Easy does it. And relax. Inside of a blink, time slows a little. Gives you a chance to catch up. Squeeze your hands. Nearly there. Deeper now. Hold. You're here. Well done. You can let go now. The human mind's just fascinating, isn't it? There is a universe of information around you, but without thought, there is only darkness. And even with some thoughts, there is still a lot of darkness. Enough of that. Let's do a thought experiment. A game, if you will. In this game, one blink is a unit of time. Within this tiny instant, an idea, a decision, an action, perhaps. Actions come about through dialogue between the systems of your brain. Around you is the amygdala, the ancient brain. All fight and flight. Keeps you upright and alive. But for many, it's an exhausting, anxious voice, and not really cut out for the times you live in. Fear, pure muscle, adrenaline. And boy, can it panic. Don't get too close. This gangly web is the prefrontal cortex, the new era brain. Cool, calm, collected. It plans ahead, precise but slow. Useless at sports. Every instant, decisions must be made. It's a chore or a game. These are the steps. Your sensory cortex hoovers up oodles of information every microsecond. You're bombarded. It's down to you to sort this mayhem. Absorb the information using your senses on your left. Suck it up. Squeeze with your right hand to process the input. Match like with like to make sense. Then spit it out. Absorb abstract information and turn it into something sensible. Easy. Well done. Not your first thought, then. But what about when time isn't on your side? Heart racing, pupils dilating. This is what it feels like to be alive. Thrilling or terrifying. Either way, vital. This feeling could save your bacon. Winning releases dopamine, a reassurance that you're doing things well. But only if the challenge is big enough to feel worthwhile. Refresh your ideas to move to the next level. Okay, thought experiment over. Some games are impossible to win. I'd be lying if I said you had a chance there. Some systems are rigged. What is the feeling behind the action? How much control do you think you really have? Here you are, back in the room. An anticlimax? Nothing to see here. What happens in the brain stays in the brain. Or does it? Look around. Just stuff. Notice anything unusual? The more you look, the more you see. Decisions, routines, associations, memories, obligations, and all the outcomes happening at once.
Let's get on with it.
He's unfixable, he can't be repaired.
It's all a bit too much, isn't it? Your mind is everywhere. But where are you really? To see where you are, you need to be somewhere else. Tune in.
Seeing myself in the third person as a character, what would happen in this and what could happen in that? In my mind, create alternative situations. didn't start out just committing crime. It just evolved over time. The windowsill. To have to get across this and to get onto where all the easy pickings are, and, you know, seeing myself in that tiny gap with that wind hailing around me, with that massive fall, having to get the stuff back across that, and the danger, you know, the fucking danger that we put ourselves in.
It was one of my pastimes just to climb up onto something and be looking down. I would climb to the top. I used to get off on people being scared. People being scared that I was going to fall.
I started getting wobbly legs because I'm starting to get a bit scared, yeah, but then my brain's going, you can do it, mate! 4 stories high? If I fall there, I'm going to die, but I don't think like that. And I think, oh, wicked, I can make that.
You just don't see you getting through it. It feels like a way out. It's finally all going to stop. There was something there pulling me towards the danger, but I didn't know it was there.
I didn't know it was there.
Humans. It's never easy, is it? The chaotic lives of 4 very different people. Omar, Errol, Leanne, and Tara. All driven to the edge. A precipice. But how did they get there?
Reaching the tip of a tree. Climbing a tree and getting to the top is a scary thing. Our family broke up. I spent a lot of that time in the house on my own, and they had a skylight there and a window that took me out onto the roof. Always be out on that roof, just sitting there and just, in my mind, there's an escape route. 5 meters across, and it's maybe a 70-foot drop. It was just always in my head thinking, I want to jump that, I could jump that, I could jump that, I have to jump that. I have a vivid memory of me doing it and looking down and my laces were untied. You know, it was snowing, and if I trip, it's just straight down.
I have to jump that.
There used to be a tune back in the day, in the 70s, I can't remember who sang it, but it goes, I love the sound of breaking glass. Doo, 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 doo. You know, me and my mate, we used to bunk off school and went into this car park and smashed every single car in the car park. For no reason, I remember having nightmares about it though as well. I remember having nightmares. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I'm never going to do that again, never going to do that again. And then the next day I would do it.
Never gonna do that again.
I call myself wild, I am wild. I can see the danger in it now, but back then, it was like I was set on fire. But it was good fire. I see the world differently. It glows differently to me. I don't see people, I just see myself all the time. I just see myself in this world trying to work out what level I'm on. bit like Super Mario. Yeah, I get all the stars, you get a mushroom, you level up, bit like that. If I do something right, I'm leveling up today. And I'm up the road and I'm like, I want to jump over the wall, I want to walk on the wall, I want to climb over that car, like, I always have to be the winner.
I always have to be the winner.
That was too much. I'd get carried away. I'd always take it too far.
It was like I was controlled by emotions. I would feed off other people's energy. That if they got excited about something, I would be more excitable than them, overtake theirs and take over and spoil things. If we were playing like pretend swords and stuff, I would go too far and accidentally hurt someone. You just want to like chase that feeling and keep doing what you're doing because it feels good in the moment. But then when you get out of the moment, it seems really stupid and you realise what you've done and it's all gone horribly wrong now.
It's all gone horribly wrong now.
Well, the label was beyond parental control. I was just a mad kid. If things were not going right for me and I couldn't sort myself out, I would throw the living wobbler. My mum used to give me licks. And I remember feeling really angry and helpless when she used to hit me and that. Years later, she said to me, if she would have done anything differently, she wouldn't have beaten us. But she didn't know what to do. Well, I used to get chased home by skinheads from school and I was scared. But then when things got around that I was too wild for them to do anything to, oh, he's a lunatic, he's a madman. That did save me from things that happened to the other kids. And they put me in Denham Court. I was young. It was exciting but frightening. It was described as a home for naughty boys.
Exciting, but frightening.
Within my life, there's been a lot of violence around me. Found myself just hanging around the streets on my own, climbing around building sites, just committing just silly crimes. You know, birds of a feather flock together. We ended up, little groups of young kids who were just feral and, just trying to get by. He was just absolutely running reckless. Making the world our playground. It would be disused buildings, big old metal works factories, holes in the ground and chemicals. We felt comfortable in that chaotic state. Well, I felt like that's where I was meant to be. And that's where we felt at home.
Comfortable in that chaotic state.
take on a lot of the criticism that other people would give me. If their response to whatever was happening was to call me names and say, oh, you're so stupid, sort of thing, or you're horrible, I would keep hold of those insults. I would call myself those names. Instead of being as bubbly and fun as I was, I would make myself a bit smaller, make myself quieter, remind myself not to get carried away by not getting started in the first place.
Remind myself not to get carried away.
I used to hit myself. It'd just feel like a ball of like lava coming out of a volcano, like there's no stopping that. That redness in me just took over. The rage inside me, full of hate. Just pure hate, yeah. I'd just hit myself in the face and stuff, headbutt things, like that's the only way to stop the feeling. You know, and it wouldn't even necessarily be anger, and I can recognise that now, it'd be sadness.
The rage inside me. Dopamine-seeking restlessness, negative self-emotional dysregulation, self-focused behavior, strong emotional tendency towards anger, risks, time, license.
You can't go to the doctors and explain it.
My daughter's dad suggested that she had ADHD. Eventually, I saw it. I got to see the signs of it in my daughter, and everything started to add up.
There's something about seeing yourself in someone else.
I could recognize the pattern. It's exhausting before you even begin. It's like if I'm in like a dark room and I'm holding the one object or thought that I'm trying to hold onto. And then in the darkness out pop all these different like images and memories and thoughts and activities and stuff. I'm like spinning and like looking around, and all these different things are just appearing, and I can't control it. It's trying to latch on to that one thought. Because I'm aware of so many things, how can I only focus? How can I only focus on one? People think that if you aren't paying attention, then you don't care. I care about too many things. I care too much.
We'd pass a building site, especially when it was, say, no trespassers or dogs patrol this or whatever. That would be, yes, come on. I'd be swinging, thinking of ways of putting my life in danger. It wasn't that I wasn't scared. I was scared, but I was reckless. And the recklessness overcome the scaredness.
It's an intense focus of what's going on and a disregard of everything else. It's not that I'm searching for adrenaline, it's that adrenaline and things like that get me away from how I'm feeling without it. My mind is just everywhere. You know, it's a million miles an hour and it's all in different places.
It looks like a focus issue, and it is, but the root cause is the thinking part.
You know, like when I look back at it now, it feels like showing off. To say, look, there's me, here I am, I exist, I'm viable.
This momentary feeling of vertigo, your body simply must react, wants to. Choice comes later. Vertigo isn't the fear of heights. It's the knowing that you could jump, that you might act on that impulse.
Sitting there in a cell, but being able to have a load of paper, I was able to create my own world. I had the great source material. I had my whole life. It relied upon a lot of self-reflection. It allowed me to delve deep, but I could actually relay it and put it out into the world. So I started to write.
Wherever I don't have to fit in, I don't. My son is probably the only person that sees me as Leanne. He's round every mood of mine. We're like a battery, we just plug in together and we're off, like static energy, like I can be how I need to be.
I don't mind telling you, I've just celebrated 1 year without trying to kill myself or self-harming, which is unreal. I am putting myself back through uni. Don't really have that many grand ambitions. I just kind of want to be there for someone as a person that maybe I didn't have when I was younger.
I used to go out every night of the week and I used to put my name on the list so that they'd call me out, everybody would clap. I would have to go up on the stage and perform. I would have to do it. I'm having to find other ways to feel some kind of fulfillment, some kind of contentment, some kind of like, here I am.
Here you are. Can you recognize the patterns? You've got things to do, people to see, stories to tell. A need to be somewhere else. Decisions, actions, or reactions. How you'll react is likely how you know how to react.
I do wish that I'd been a bit more calmer. I might have been able to notice things more, but then again, even if I did notice things more, did I have the savvy of brain to bloody
Action or reaction. Real life is messy. Impossible to take it all in. Think about it on the way.
Take this personally.
Stop to think about how harmful that might be.
Severely on changing your mind.
Too focused on trying to focus.
A lot of the stereotype a lot of the time is, oh, they're just making excuses,
I'm gonna die one day, I need to live.
blah, 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 whatever. I just want to get to the end.
Focus on the resilience. Focus on the ethics.
Action or reaction.
Focus on the here and now.
The difference between them is a blink. A moment to catch up. To slow things down, you have to stop.